Today's video, we are going to talk about landing pages and your navigation, and whether you should have a navigation, which the short of that is you should have a mini navigation on every landing page that you're sending traffic to from your ad campaigns if you want to make the full amount of money from your ad campaigns. There are very simple reasons why this converts better than no navigation, except for certain specific instances, which I'm going to go through, if you want to be able to get the full amount of conversions from your ad campaigns. And when we're talking about more conversions, we're talking about 20 to 50% more conversions just by having the navigation on that page. We know because we have ran hundreds and hundreds of campaigns. We've tested and we build landing pages for clients. This is the only thing we do at our ad agency. With that said, we tested it with and without the navigation. Now, I will tell you up front that it is a delicate situation. If you do too much to send people away from your landing page, you will hurt conversions. If you do nothing to send people to your main website, you will hurt conversions. There's a sweet spot in there that I'm going to specifically be able to communicate to you so you know where you want to be, so that the people that essentially want to go to other parts of your site can, and you're not trapping them, and therefore you'll still get the conversion. Whereas most people still stay on the page, and the landing page can do its actual thing. So I'll go over that all in this particular video, so you leave the video here knowing the final word about landing pages and whether or not you should have a navigation on them to make the most money from online ad campaigns and traffic you drive to your landing pages. So with that said, getting into the content. Now, landing pages should almost, key thing being here, almost always have a small navigation bar. If we were to demonstrate this, I know I don't have much room on the board here, but if this right here is your landing page, right? You have your logo up here in the top left, your phone number up top right. Your navigation should be like right here in the middle, like it normally would be on a website at the top part of the screen, but it should just be a couple links. A mini nav is what I call it, okay? So you normally almost, well, if you're in the right niche or right situation, it will always bring you more conversions. And then the other situations where it's better to not have a nav, that will obviously bring you more conversions. Like if you're sending people to an info lander, which I'll go into a bit more what that is in a moment. But the reason why having the navigation on your landing page is going to maximize the amount of leads and sales that if you're selling product sales, or just in general, increase conversions or increase conversion rates on your landing pages, because everyone wants to feel like they are not being trapped or pressured. Because the typical person, when they go to your website, they're not expecting a landing page per se. They're expecting to get the information that was presented in the ad. But they're expecting to go to your website still. And a lot of people like to investigate more, go to different parts of the website, the About Us page, whatnot, and learn more about that company before they're willing to call them or have someone call them or buy. And so the general thought for years was, and where people are still making mistakes, is landing pages or squeeze pages, as people used to call them back in the day, still technically do call them that, is to get that person to that landing page, make them so that they can't leave, so they only have one thing to do. And the reality is, yes, it gets them so they can do one thing, but a lot of people just won't convert because they want more information. They want to check about who you are before coughing up their information to you. And for those people that just will not, there's a certain percentage that just won't cough it up unless they know more about you first. And there is no page design, nothing you're going to say that's going to get them to cough it up if they're that type of person who wants to go to the other parts of the site. And it also just feels very ingenuine. You got me to this page and I can't go to the other parts of the site. Why? Why are you doing this? It's almost like if you were going to sell to somebody in person and you get them into a room and the first thing you do before you start talking is lock the door. It's like, what the fuck are you doing that for? Granted, like I said, there's a delicate balance, because if you try to do too much to send them to other parts of your site, then they're going to get lost in your unoptimized website that isn't well set up for conversions, and you're going to lose money that way. Effectively, you want to keep most people on the page, and then the people that want more information, you want to be able to have those people be able to easily know how to go and get more information. That's the key middle ground that will make you the most money with your ad campaigns. And so nobody wants to feel pressured ultimately to be able to, you know, when they're trying to figure out whether they want to do business with you or not. So moving forward, your logo on your website should always be clickable. So if they click on your logo, it actually takes them to your homepage for the same reason. There's a certain percentage of people that are going to want to know more information about you before they're willing to convert. If they click on your logo and you try to not send them to your main site, it's going to feel like you're trying to trap them. And a lot of people just are going to leave the page at that point in time because they're not ready to give you their contact information or go forward into a sale at that, or to buy yet. And that'll be, just to tell you the stats, there's about 10% of the people, because we set up conversion tracking on all of our clients' campaigns, not only just on the landing pages, but on the rest of the website. Why? Because it varies industry by industry, but the overall average is about 10% of the people will convert on another page of the website, not the landing page. And that's even when we have damn good landing pages. Damn good because the only thing our designers and myself do is make landing pages. We don't build websites. And we've built hundreds of them. So even doing everything right, and so if you're not doing everything right, more than 10%, you're going to have 50% people want to go to the other parts of the website. And, you know, the key thing is in sales, you always want to have a clear, structured path to take people to. So, you know, the landing page can do everything to a point, and then when they're ready to see what else is this company about, you let them go. You don't say, no, you can't go anywhere. You also don't want them to get to the page and then right away go to other parts of the site, because then it's not a clear, structured path. So a small navigation on your landing pages will increase conversions at least 10%. And the situations where the navigation will make sense. The times that I don't use a navigation, by the way, is on what I call info landers. So sometimes we'll send people to a landing page that looks like a news article that's on a news website. In that case, we don't do a navigation because it's obvious they're not on the site because they think we're the seller, if you will. And if you don't know what those are, those actually work pretty good in a lot of different industries. We had a doctor who, just to give you a example, that had a back pain treatment. And what do? We have an ad that says back pain treatment update or breakthrough fixes back pain in 3 treatments. And then they click on that and they go to a page that looks like a news article. And the reason why that works is it lets it brings people's guards down while they're learning about this solution. And then once they've already learned about it, now they're ready to like click on a link to go see somebody that is the #1 person providing it. So in that situation, it makes obvious not to have a navigation. If they think they're going to the actual provider of the product or service, a navigation is basically going to work 100% of the time to get you more money. But as far as the navigation goes, so you still, because you don't want to just take, this is the other part where people go wrong. If they do put a navigation on their landing pages, they'll take everything that's on their navigation on their main site now and then slap it on their landing page, and that's absolutely wrong as well. You want a mini nav. You want to have a little bit, like I showed before, what normally where your navigation goes between the phone number and the logo, but you want just a few links. What makes sense for them to be able to, you're just basically at the end of the day giving them an outlet to leave the page for those people that are more inquisitive and they want to know who they're dealing with before doing business with you. And then what we'll normally do is like an About Us link that's called About Us. So if they want to find out more about our company, they can find it that way. And then we'll have a second link that says Other Services, or if we're talking about products, Other Products. which has nothing to do with the product or service at hand, but at least they can, for lack of something else better on the navigation, it's really, you could think about that navigation just being there. So you could say, hey, if you actually do want to know that we're a real company, you want to check us out, the normal place that you would go to click on that, which is the navigation, is there. But you're not going to try to make it so prominent that a lot of people are clicking on it. But if you have none, the people that absolutely need to click on it and can't find it, they'll leave, and now you've lost part of your sales. So in terms of what to do, that's a general formula that I would follow. Obviously, you can mix it up, but that's the formula that we basically found works the best and gets us the most conversion or revenue per dollar of ad spend ultimately. This gives the prospect knowledge about how to check out the rest of your company without drawing a bunch of attention to it, so a very high percentage of the people hitting your page will right away want to click on it. Okay? Because if it just says about us, you're not going to be tempted to click on that right away, right? You're only going to be tempted to click on that once you've already reviewed what's on that landing page. So that's why it works so well. Same thing with other products or other services. You're not interested in that until you've already reviewed the main offer on that page you've been taken to, which brings me to the point of saying everything about the product or service at hand that they were inquiring about or that they saw in the ad, that should all be focused on that page. So for instance, if you're able to share the pricing about your product or service, you do that on the landing page. You don't have them take them to another part of your site, because then they leave the landing page, your conversion rate is going to be hurt. So, and that's another mistake that people make. So ultimately, about the product or service at hand that there was promoted on that ad, you talk about all of it on the page. And then in fact, if you know, on top of that I should say, if you know that more than half of the people just right away want to know about pricing, instead of focusing on pricing way down the page and hoping that they get to it, you put a little link about pricing right near the headline on the page so that they know right where it's at, and they're not going to, that'll generally help your conversion rate in that case. And then when they click on it, it just jumps you down to the part of the page that talks about pricing. That's another little tweak or hack that will increase your conversion rates. So, which I call jump links. So anyway, you want to do that as well. But that navigation, if you will, or it's not really even a navigation, you're just adding additional links to bring people to the content that they were most interested in on the landing page at the top of the page, so they know they can quickly access it. But assuming, well, we do that a lot, and particularly as we have landing pages that are very long. A lot of times they'll be 7 to 10 sections. So if we know when they hit the page, the most thing that they focus on, because you can use like a software like Hotjar to see what they're most interested in, is like the pricing. Well, you put just a link at the top of the page saying interested in pricing. And when they click on it, it brings them right to that section. So I would recommend that as well. But anyway, in terms of navigation, knowing whether to use it or not use it, that's the basic information that I wanted to share with you here today. So in short, you use it every time unless it logically doesn't make sense, like with the example that I gave you with the article style landers. But for all practical purposes, for 99% of you guys watching this, you put the nav. You don't put the main, the navigation you have on the rest of the site. You have a mini nav and stuff that just tells the user that if they're looking for the navigation, it's there, but it doesn't advertise stuff that they would want to know right away when they hit the page. It advertises other stuff on your site that they would want to know after checking out your main offer, if that makes sense. Then you're going to end up with at least 10% more sales, profit, conversions for the same amount of ad spend, if not upwards of 50%, by having that little mini nav there as a part of your page. So that said, I'll pretty much wrap it up with that. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you liked the video, I'd appreciate giving the video a like, and consider subscribing to this channel, as I have a ton of other content on this channel about how to make money with ads. Coming from somebody with 15 years of ad experience, and that isn't just doing YouTube for a living. So the information, you can actually count on it. So you should subscribe, and if you like my channel, you can also check out my blog at guaranteeppc.com/blog. where you can find my written material as well as my column over at entrepreneur.com. There's another great resource for you to be able to make lots of money with online ads for your business. If you are looking for an ad manager now or in the future, this is exactly what I do for clients. Reach out to me at Guarantee PPC. I'd be more than happy to give you a free analysis and explain how much we can raise your sales on a guaranteed basis right away before paying, which is our key part of our PPC management or ad management service that we offer. So the only catch is we got to know we can get great results on your account, but if so, we would love to be able to work with you. If you have any questions about anything I covered today or any ad related question, by the way, you can leave me a comment below. I get back to every single person who leaves me a comment on this channel, usually within a couple days time. That said as well, if you are looking for great results, want to shortcut your way to success as quickly and easily as possible there for yourself, and you don't want to work with an ad agency per se, we have campaign templates that we've been selling, which if we've worked in your industry before, you can simply take what we've already learned works in your industry and just copy and paste the same ads and landing pages and everything that we're using in your industry in another geographic market into your ad accounts. And then with that, you basically can get the same results we're getting without any of the time, effort, and money we spent to figure out what works in your market. We sell those for a one-time fee as well, and it would be way cheaper to do that than to figure out what we had to figure out in your market already. So you would just have to be in a different geographic area in which our client has been in or is in now in order to be eligible. But we would tell you what results you could actually get with the templates before you even bought the templates. If you're interested in this, you can also reach out to my firm at guaranteeppc.com. I'd be happy to tell you if we've worked in your market, and if so, how successful we've been within it. So that said, I'll wrap everything up with that. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you on my next video where we have another great strategy for you then. See you later.